distractions and crime.
There are only two types of Americans: those who live in New York and those who wish they could.
Good to go?
Mr. Mayor, how are you? Laborers in the house. Salamanca. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Martinez, and I stand here proudly as the representative of the natural science student body here at Hostos Community College. We are here celebrating the future of this space at Hostos, but let us not forget why the very roof over our head matters. It stands for so much more than better equipment. It represents opportunity. CUNY students are a unique yet often undervalued community. Many of us balance school with work and family, yet we continue to pursue STEM education. Look around at all the things we take for granted: our phones, our cameras, our lights, even the roof over our heads. All of these exist because of STEM students, those who chose one of the hardest paths in order to better the world. To do that, we need this building. Every day, new students apply for STEM programs, and it shouldn't be only Harvard or MIT students who get to make a difference. We at Hostos are part of diverse communities where real change can occur today. These are trying times, and many of us fear the future. But the future is here, in this building, with young scientists who can change not just this city, but this world for the better. At Hostos, we pride ourselves on diversity, resilience, and determination. And this building represents a brighter future. It will be a hub of science where anyone, from any background, can learn and create. As a final remark, I would like to thank my mentor, Anna Ivanova, and my program director, Yoel Rodriguez, and all of ASAP and Hostos for thinking of me for this historic occasion. With that, I would like to turn it over to our mayor, who is helping to invest in the space and in our college, Mayor Eric Adams.
This is good stuff. Good stuff. Do me a favor, Mike, one of the details. Like all my people in the back, tell them they can go inside here or they can go upstairs. You know, they can hang out in the restaurant upstairs. But, you know, we're trying to do this here in the Bronx. Show them some good stuff we're doing in the Bronx, you know. You know, so producing a quality product year after year after year, and you can't do this if you didn't have a real leader and chancellor. You know, thank you so much, man, for understanding what we're doing. He gave me this vision. And when I walked in, he shared with me, Eric, we tried this before. We could never get it done. We could never get it done. We tried this. We tried it. We could never get it done. I heard that so much in the Bronx. You know, we tried to remove the barge. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. That barge is going. We tried to develop Fordham South. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. We're doing it. We tried to develop Kingsbridge Armory. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. We're doing it. This borough was ignored for decades until a mayor came on board that stated, I'm not going to ignore you. You're not going to be left behind. This is not a Manhattan-centered administration. This is a 5-borough administration, and that is why we're doing this project here in the Bronx. And the reason we're able to do these types of projects is because the administration is made up of people who came through this system. Deputy Mayor Amazar, what college did you go to? There you go. There you go. And so not only does CUNY produce public advocates, Brooklyn College, produce deputy mayors, but it also produced a mayor. produce a mayor. I came through CUNY, and if it wasn't CUNY, I could not afford to go to another school. CUNY made the pathway for us. And so those scholars behind us play a role, and this scholar standing next to me articulated that these great projects should not only take place in other locations. Why not here in the Bronx? This is going to become a feeder, and what's going to happen when we develop this, all around this area, you're going to see businesses, jobs, developments, startups. This is the feeder that's going to build an entire economic stimulus for this entire area. Why the hell did this post office remain vacant all this time? It would not have remained vacant in central Manhattan, but people wanted to ignore this borough. They wanted to make believe, let's just leave it vacant, and let's watch around it all of the things that this borough had to endure for years upon years upon years. We are planting some real seeds here, and those seeds are going to grow, and you're going to see the result of what this administration did all over this borough, and in fact, all over this city. So, Stephen, you were right on. Thank you for being a CUNY student. We produce such good products, you know. And it's good to be back here at Hostos. And I wanted the deputy mayor to let you know this is where she came from as well, and why important it is. You can find a place for it with the world-class education. CUNY is a world-class education, and that is what we get every day. You investing in education has been a priority for this administration, and when this was brought to my attention, I went to my first deputy mayor. He epitomizes get stuff done, and I said, we're going to land this plane, and Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro made sure we land this plane to get this done. And so today, we're proud to announce that we are helping to create a new space which will serve as a life science facility for Hostos Community College in the Bronx. This is good stuff. It will offer hands-on training for healthcare programs. So remember the healthcare high school that we opened. Now the students can come right into CUNY, into now a place where they would get continuing education. That's what you call building out a pipeline. Not a pipeline to prison, but a pipeline to profession. That's what we're doing here. This place is going to feature modern instructional labs, classrooms, and student spaces, and serve up to 5,000 students per semester. And outline in our adopted budget, the best budget ever, $12.3 million annually to support the college growth, expand high-demand programs, and replace outdated labs. The new facility is not just expected to drive enrollment or create demand for additional faculty. We hope it will serve and help students into high-paying careers within the city and within the state, because every young person deserves to participate in the American dream and not live within an unsustainable nightmare that they don't believe the future belongs to them, because it does. This project builds on investment we made in our best budget ever, $1.4 billion in critical programs previously facing spending cliffs, such as CUNY schools, city libraries, and other cultural institutions. And what's more, we're transforming. Look at this poster. Look at the walls. Look at this place. This is an unbelievable place here. We're transforming this location, this historic post office building, which stood vacant for years, as I indicated, and now we will deliver not mail, but we will deliver thousands of jobs to Bronxites and other people in the city. And today's announcement builds on the significant investments that we have made in CUNY to achieve advanced career-oriented learning. In 2023, we invested $600 million to build inclusive pathways for cities' young people to discover their passion. And last year, we announced an expansion of our CUNY Inclusive Economic Initiative, which will leverage CUNY resources to create college-to-career pipelines for their students. These programs that our administration is supporting is investing in building a bridge to the future for all New Yorkers, a future with skills you have learned in college like this beautiful institution, Hostos, a future with a career you could have passion for and love to do, a future where you can support your family without worrying of whether you can afford tomorrow's meal or next month's rent. We know what poverty is. I know what it is. I grew up in poverty. And so we must create real incentives and initiatives so the next generation of students, not only the young students, but also those returning adults who are coming back to school to fulfill their obligations. They will have an opportunity in the future, a future that our city owes them, and a debt of gratitude for their commitment and dedication. All students should be able to access the opportunities they can have and to grow their future, because New York City is a city of opportunity and everyone deserves that chance. And so I really want to thank our good friends that we rode side by side with for these last 3.5 years of really investing in CUNY, and your whole team. Your whole team has, have played a role in a real vision for this. So I want to thank our Chancellor Rodriguez, Hostos President Dr. Daisy Coco de Felipes. Come on up, come on up. Now, I have been around a long time. I have never met a president with a cooler, smoother name than yours. You know that? And Jorge Madruga, a real American story, a real American story, and partners at BPO owner for helping to make this happen, and all those who are here. So I want to turn it over to Madam President to say a few words, and good luck to you. This is going to be a great project here. Come on.
Before I cannot tell you. I'm standing on air, if that's possible at this point in my life. But I just want to say, I need to tell the Honorable Mayor of New York that I'm a 4-time CUNY graduate.
Oh,
all right? An immigrant as a young girl. It was public school and CUNY that helped me move forward. So I see my students. I see myself in my students every time. So, honored guests, cherished students, faculty and staff, dear friends and colleagues, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos. Welcome to your home. Thank you for joining us on this incredible day. I can't believe, I told the Chancellor, it's going to take me a while to retire if you don't get this building. I was so determined that we were going to finish the work he began, because this has been a labor of love for our wonderful Chancellor, that's for sure, and for all of us here. I want to thank everyone from the team, from the Hostos family. There's so many here, so many here, faculty, students, staff. My whole team is here as well, my cabinet. And I want to thank in particular Stephen Martinez for doing such a fabulous job of framing this. Thank you. So it's been a long time. As I just mentioned, the Chancellor began the project of doing that institutional study when he was the president. I inherited, there was another president in between, and I inherited it. And then it has been push, push, push. And it takes, as it always says, it takes everyone. The coincidence is, of course, Jorge Madruga has been a donor to Hostos students. So I just remind Jorge regularly that he still should be a donor as we move forward. I wanted to also say that a bigger donor, there you go. I thank our mayor, Eric Adams. And I don't know how many of you, but I know we remember when he heard the third state of the city address, which was delivered here from Hostos. He was already looking us over.
That's right.
All right. So thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. We're so happy to welcome you to our campus and to tell you from de mi corazón, from the bottom of my heart, mil gracias. Thank you so much for making this possible. Our borough president, Gibson's commitment to Hostos and the borough it calls home has been a crucial assistance in so many ways at so many times. And so many of the friends of the college are here today. President, and I told the students when I introduced him to them that he's the money guy upstate. But I remember Guillermo before he was Dr. Guillermo Linares and before he was the president of the New York State Higher Education Services as the first Dominican. And as I am the first Dominican woman to be president of CUNY. And 4 times CUNY graduate. Our first deputy mayor, Randy Mastro, also had a chance to have a photo with me. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. And Deputy Mayor Ana Almanzar. Oh my God, are we so proud of Ana? We gave her, if you remember those from Hostos, the President's Medal a few years back. So, yeah. So, Council Member Rafael Salamanca, always here, always a friend. Assembly Member Amanda Septimo, and we also recognize Justin Sanchez, the Democratic nominee for Council District 17. He was already at Hostos talking to us about the things we need. So I would also to acknowledge the members of the Hostos Foundation Board who are here or expected. Chairman Jose Chancellor Kinghort, Amarilis Jacobo, Madeline Marquez, I just saw Madeline, she is beautiful. Efamil Obinali, who's soon to be wed, so maybe he's busy, I haven't seen him. Julio Reyes, Rafael Rivera Piruet, and our former member, and Bill Aguado, whom I adore, because he funded so many things when I was a provost here, and he was with the Council for the Arts for the Bronx. Thank you. And his lovely wife, Kathy Pavlik. She's always here. They come for us. Thank you. As a former president of Hostos, CUNY Chancellor Felix Matos Rodriguez, as they say in my classroom, silencio. There you go. Mil gracias. Mil gracias. So as a former president of Hostos, CUNY Chancellor Felix Matos Rodriguez knows the college well. And when he comes to visit, they love him here. That's for sure. That's for sure. Beloved. And so he left a very good legacy here. And I know that he might be I know that he is particularly pleased. I just know it. This is like the crowning glory that what he could do for Hostos and us. His sage counsel and his devotion to Hostos and to CUNY in general are invaluable. He's ably assisted by Executive Vice Chancellor and COO Hector Batista. Hector, come forward. Come forward. Come forward. Be recognized. I love this man because he really, the Chancellor gave him this to do, and boy, he got it done. Thank you. Thank you, Hector. I also saw that Derek Davis, also Senior Vice Chancellor, whom I love. We work really well with Derek. He's a big lawyer for CUNY. Was here. I don't know where he is now. There he is, Derek. And also from the team that I saw, Maite Junco, the Senior Vice Chancellor, who always makes sure that we are seen in the best light. Thank you, Maite. Love you guys. Okay, so this former post office is the most fitting and appropriate home for Allied Health. It was completed in 1937. Just a little history here. The building's lobby features a stunning series of murals. I just would like to see more women, that's the only thing. And you know, of workers created by the legendary Ben Shahn and Bernarda Bryson, titled The Resources of America. The murals celebrate America's workers, the men and women who built our homes, made our clothes, labor in our factories, and till our farmland. The largest of the murals depicts the great American poet Walt Whitman and includes from As I Walk This Board, Majestic Days. Whitman's poem concludes with these words. You know, when you got me speaking, you're going to get a poem. So here it goes. For we support all, fuse all. After the rest is done and gone, we remain. There is no final reliance but upon us. Democracy rests finally upon us, and our visions sweep through eternity. Hostos shares with Whitman's passionate, all-embracing vision of democracy and the dignity of our workers. And I want to say that there are over 50 languages spoken in the homes of our students at Hostos, and that 95% of our students are either Latino or Black. And when you, and it's being managed by one of the most diverse cabinets that CUNY has. And the chancellor told me that one time. You have an interesting group. Right. Interesting and diverse. So thank you for the team. Thank you for all the efforts, everybody, as we go forward. Okay, so I am grateful to you and to all who have contributed to today's celebration. It marks the beginning of a new and exciting chapter in the college's history. Now, as I was told, it is my honor to say a couple more words about our beloved chancellor. Yeah, I want to say, no. I got to know him many years back, and I got to know him and respect him a lot because there he was, this Ivy League graduate who did his work on women in the labor movement in Puerto Rico. So that's number one. Hay un corazón enorme ahí, okay? Number two, he has guided CUNY through this pandemic, and we all came back to life, and we are thriving. And he keeps getting and working with his team to collaborate with us to bring resources to all the different schools. I hope we play a little bit more of a place in your heart than others, but maybe not. I think he's like my grandmother who used to tell everybody that when she died, we found out that we all thought we were individually the favorite. So I think in some way, he loves all his children. Let me put it to you this way. He is wonderful. He's here to address this moment. And no one can share in the excitement with more pride, a more sense of accomplishment, and more love than our chancellor this afternoon. Bienvenido a su casa, jefe.
Yes, all right. You got to give some love to your president, Daisy, Coco, the Felipe. I join Mayor Adams and Madam President in welcoming all the dignitaries that we have here today. You all have played a role in making this day possible today. And to all of you, to the elected officials, there'll be more money to give as the project goes. So Rafael and the city council and everybody else, right? The mayor is putting the bedrock here. We're going to come back to all of you for additional support. You've been a great champion. So we're going to be doing that. To all the members of the Hostos Foundation, what a phenomenal opportunity to use this great investment that we gotten from the mayor and the city for philanthropy, so that we can go and have every crook and nanny of this building named after someone, and we can bring additional resources to be able to support the wonderful students here at Hostos and the great faculty. So thank you for the work that you do in the foundation. The mayor is clearly not just CUNY's mayor, right? Which he works with great pride, but also the can-do mayor, right? Time and time again, when there have been things that were not being paid attention to, where there were elements that were marginalized, we knew and we know that we could go to the mayor and put our case before him, and that we're going to find someone who's going to be willing to invest in our students, willing to invest in our faculty, willing to invest in our institutions, because he understands the individual lives that are shaped and supported by those investments, but also the work that it happens in the communities. So I would like all of you to give a big, big round of applause to CUNY's Mayor, Eric Adams. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. He's supported by a great team. I want to highlight the deputy mayor that has Hostos swag, Deputy Mayor Almanzar. So thank you so much for the great support that you provide. And someone who, had he not been in the role that he has now, this project maybe would have found a difficult time to come into the mayor's radar. Because we know the mayor's heart, we know the mayor's track record, we know his intentions, right? But it's a big city, and he needs good people around him to bring him up the projects that he knows he cares about. And I want to thank the first deputy mayor, Randy Maestro, for playing a key role in this. On our team, Daisy recognized Hector Batista, a key role on this thing. He knew since the beginning how important this project was to our administration, and he used every resource available to him, every connection, to make sure that this project stood front and center, and we're able to deliver it now in a large part. Thank you for your leadership and persistence. Hector, thank you so much. In Spanish, we have a saying: al que madruga, Dios lo ayuda, right? It's sort of like the early bird gets a worm, right? So with madruga, right, nos ayuda, right? And he's going to be able, with his team, to deliver, once it's done, a state-of-the-art turnkey facility that we're going to be back here partying and breaking a ribbon when that happens, right? With the best facilities for all students in New York City on allied health and STEM fields. Jorge, thank you so much for your support and your leadership. You're a great partner. Thank you so much for what you do. This is a deeply personal project for me. As President Coco de Filippis mentioned, Hostos is uncertainly my favorite CUNY school in the South Bronx. That good? Okay. But I also want to highlight, as the mayor said, if it was not for his leadership, we wouldn't be here doing this today. We needed someone that had the vision, the heart, and the commitment to CUNY, to Hostos, and to the Bronx that the mayor has. But I also want to highlight some other people that are really, really important here. When we created the vision for this facility, that was a vision created with the Hostos community. And we have here a large number of the Hostos faculty that participated in that exercise, in that master plan. And I know sometimes those things seem very bureaucratic and boring, but without those blueprints, we cannot have the kind of resources and the guiding blocks to go then to the city and say, this investment is worthwhile. So I want to thank all the Hostos faculty, all the Hostos staff, for what you do every day, but also to those of you who were part of the journey 13 years ago, thank you so much for what you have done, and thank you so much for the work ahead in giving life to this facility as we move forward. The mayor mentioned, and you've seen the incredible students here, and the idea, yes? I was talking to some of the nursing students. I am afraid of needles. So I told them, should you ever encounter me in an emergency situation, please be kind and patient with me. Think about the capacity that we're going to have because of this investment to have a larger number of nurses. We know that by 2030, we're going to have about 40,000 less nurses that we need, right? This investment is going to allow us to have a larger class of talented, hardworking students, nursing students that come from the backgrounds that we all have, that are going to have cultural competency, that are going to be able to talk to the patients in their own language, that they're going to understand their culture, that they're going to be serving in the areas where some people don't want to serve, that we know we need them. That is the kind of health professional that places like Hostos and CUNY produces and that the city needs, right? Think about those people that like to inflict pain for a living. The dental hygienist, right? Right? And I can diss them because I'm married to a dentist, right? So I can do that. But we all know that when things are tight, one of the first things that people leave behind is their oral health, and has an impact in the whole well-being. So we are training the next generation of the wonderful dental hygienists in a clinic that is going to be expanded and provides free services to the people of the South Bronx, right? So thank you for what you do. Every time I have something that hurts and I go to the x-ray room, invariably, the technicians graduated from the RadTech program here, right? The best RadTech program in the entire city, right? We're going to be able to expand that because of this facility. There's programs that we don't have at Hostos that we know there's demand for, that the hospitals need, and the Bronx is the borough of hospitals, and the city needs that. We're going to be able to expand all that capacity because of that investment here today. And in addition to that, where do you think that the kids who grew up here in the South Bronx, who are going to our public schools, are going to be able to dream about becoming physicians, nurses, scientists, engineers? Is going to be here because our school's partner, the mayor mentioned the partnership with the High School of Science. But we also, through College Now, have the students coming here and envisioning a world of possibilities. That happens because of anchor institutions. So this is an investment not just for the students, it's an investment for our city and in our future health. So this is a great day. We're going to be back here partying even more. I also want to acknowledge the wonderful musicians that were playing here today. El conjunto, ¿cómo está? Conjunto Imagen. Let's give them a big round of applause, right? And they're also led by Ernie, who is not playing music, is a public safety officer at CUNY, so we love him for that. So thank you, Mayor, for what you do, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone, right? You know, life comes full circle. That's why you have to always behave, right? Someone who voted as a CUNY trustee to have a nicer looking and younger Felix Matos Rodriguez be president of Hostos and is now serving as the first deputy mayor, somebody who loves CUNY, having served in the many things he's done of service to his university as a trustee. Thank you for your leadership, Randy Maestro.
Hola, Hostos! You know, when I had the honor of returning to City Hall earlier this year, it was days like this that I hoped to have, and days like this under this mayor that I'm having day after day. Thank God for this day, and you, Mayor. You know, I've been around the block. I didn't get all this white hair without, you know, running that track. Right, Chancellor? Sorry to make a hair joke, Mayor. You know, it was 30 years ago that I met a young man when I was serving in City Hall the last time, named Hector Batista. And we bonded then. And who thought 30 years later, Hector would come visit me in City Hall and speak to me and the mayor about this great project. Hector, thank you. And it was about 15 years ago that I had the opportunity to meet someone who would prove to be a great leader, first of Hostos and later CUNY. And I have to say, Chancellor, that was one of the great honors of my life to serve on that board. And as the song goes, I must have done something good. Thank you. But there is one person who stands out on this special day, because it was his conviction, his vision, when he first heard about this great project, to say, we have to get this done. We have to do this for this community in the Bronx, this great institution. We have to do this for Hostos and future generations of students who will be in the healthcare field and in the sciences doing amazing, life-saving work. We had to get it done. He gave that directive. He's the one who stood behind this project and said, we have to do this. And that man is Eric Adams. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Enough from me. Now we're going to hear from another great friend. We bonded 30 years ago when he was on the city council, and he's gone on to do amazing things. And now, at the state level, helping thousands and thousands of kids realize their dreams through education. It's my great honor to introduce my friend, Guillermo Linares.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. This is really a historic and glorious day for New York City, I have to say, but especially for the Bronx. For me, it's a special day because I landed as an immigrant from the Dominican Republic in '66, right here in the Bronx. I'm a graduate from a Bronx high school, but also a graduate of CUNY, City College of New York. And so many years later, after graduating, 50 years, as a matter of fact, this year, to be here celebrating almost like 50 years since we mobilized to try to rescue 500 Grand Concourse across the street. Here we are expanding with this marvelous structure, expanding to really give our young people, like me as the first to attend college in my family, so many others. And so today I'm here on behalf of Governor Kathy Hochul. I'm a member of her cabinet. My job is to help pay for college in the state of New York. That's my job. By graduating from CUNY, I landed in Washington Heights to be a fifth grade teacher, a bilingual teacher, 50 years ago. So I'm still at it. And I'm here because the leadership that the governor has given New Yorkers in highlighting the importance of education, I can attest when we see the dramatic expansion of the TAP program. This year alone is $850 million that have been invested through TAP alone, but it is going to be much more with the expansion. She's announcing, as a matter of fact, this year, that starting this year, academic year, we will have free college at 2-year colleges, community college in the state of New York, tuition free. Free college for those who are 25 to 55 and want to get a college degree. That's the type of initiative and leadership she's giving. But I want to say, on behalf of the governor, a big thank you for your leadership, Mayor Adams, in making this a reality nowadays, and commend all the deputy mayors that we have here. It's been a long road, but if you ask me, what inspires me, what has inspired me all along, is the faith that I have in young people. The young people that we have here are really the inspiration that humanity will be better off because of what we do here at Hostos. And the leadership of our chancellor, who is here, he made history as the first Latino chancellor in the history of CUNY. So we're very proud of you. And my sister, Daisy Coco de Felipes, made history also in leadership. So with that, I want to say that this moment is on the shoulder of so many waves of immigrants that have come here from Latin America and from throughout the world, looking to sacrifice everything so their children can be better off. This is the essence of what Hostos represent. By the way, Eugenio Maria de Hostos is a hero for Dominicans because he established the public education system in the Dominican Republic before he went to Chile to do it after doing it in Puerto Rico. That's why we name him. He's still buried in the Dominican Republic. He says, until Puerto Rico is free, I want to stay here. So one day we will hand them over to our hermanos Puertorriqueños. But that's to tell you how much Hostos, Eugenio Maria de Hostos, means to all of us as Latinos, as immigrants, and as New Yorkers. So today is a great day. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you for your team. And Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for making the Bronx brighter than ever with this wonderful, wonderful facility and this expansion, thanks to your leadership in the private sector stepping up. Que viva Eugenio Maria de Hostos.
So we want to round up our speaking. My entire staff is saying Salamanca. No one has to tell me about Salamanca. This has been a real fighter on behalf of the Bronx. His clarity of vision and message, and as a young man growing up in the Bronx, what this brother has offered from the day that we walked the streets together in the Bronx on what our mission was. He was a major architect on many of the things we did here in the Bronx. I want to turn it over to your Councilman Salamanca.
Yeah. All right, buenas tardes. You can give me a big round of applause because I'm the last speaker here today. I wanna start by thanking the Mayor Eric Adams. I know that many individuals thanked you, but I want to tell you about my personal experience with Mayor Eric Adams. I'm born and raised in this community, more in the Hunts Point, South Bronx community. I'm an asthmatic. My dad worked in the Hunts Point market, over 30,000 trucks coming in and out of the Hunts Point community. Being an elected official, I recognized that we needed to keep those jobs, but we got to figure out how we reduce the amount of trucks that are coming in and out of our community. We also have what's called the Vernon C. Bain Center, which is a floating jail that has been in our communities for over 30 years. Mayor David Dinkins back then came and said, hey, we're going to install this jail on a temporary basis. And 30 years later, it was still there. And when Eric Adams was campaigning and he came to visit me, I brought him over. I said, these are my issues that need to be addressed. And in the time that he's been there, we closed the jails, we reduced the amount of trucks that are coming in and out of communities, and we were able to establish what's called a blue highway, where trucks come in and out of our community, reducing the amount of truck traffic, improving our air quality. So you have gotten things done. I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that. When being born and raised in this community, you know about Hostos Community College. If you're really from here, you know about the G-Bar across the street. Right? In 2006, that was the first date that I had with my wife there at the G-Bar. And so, and being born and raised in this community, you know about the post office on Grand Concourse, this historical site, and how it exemplifies the South Bronx and how we need to continue to preserve it. And so when I became the council member, I was able to meet with your president, De Felipes, and her executive team. I want to give her executive team a big round of applause because you are the movers and shakers of Hostos Community College. And they had a vision as to how they were going to expand services at Hostos Community College. Well, there's a new building right across the street from Hostos. It's a 30-story building, one of the first affordable housing units that I was able to approve. But in that negotiation, we negotiated two things. Number one, we negotiated a new playground called Evanila Antonetti Playground, which Hostos Community College uses, and I'm pretty sure that all of your students do as well. And we were able to allocate space for technology space in that building as well. But now we stand before you with an empty building, and we have a savior here who is Matt Equities. And I want to give him a big round of applause because he is part of the redevelopment of the South Bronx. And I have to give a big shout out to the men in orange who are behind me, who are going to make sure this construction happens. Local 79, let's give them a big round of applause as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part of the redevelopment of the South Bronx. The 9 years that I've been in the council, I've been able to bring over $400 million to the South Bronx, approved over 10,000 units of housing. 90% of my playgrounds have been redone. $30 million for my playgrounds, another $35 million for education. And I'm happy to see that we're not forgetting about higher education, and that is exactly what this announcement does today. So with that, I want to thank you, Hostos, I want to thank you, Chancellor, and I want to thank you all for being here and enjoying the fruits of our labor. Thank you very much.
Okay, do a few on topics and then a few off topics. Yes, 2026, right, Randy, when we started?
The investment starts in 2026 and 2027.
2026, 2027. So when I'm my second term, we'll be knocking it out.
Hostos graduates about 2,500 students on STEM and allied health programs, right? The larger enrollment of other fields in the university is larger, of course. This facility would allow for the programs in nursing, rag technology, and dental hygiene to expand. They exist there. They have incredible passing rates. There's some other programs that the faculty has been wanting to generate that they didn't have the space for in health-related fields. One of the things that it will do, sometimes we have more students that want to go, for example, into nursing. They think about nursing as just one field. They don't always can get into all the slots, so we can direct them to other health-related fields if we have the facilities here. The natural sciences, which are benchmarks, biology, chemistry, physics, all that will be here too. This engineering programs, which is some programs that they have in coordination with City College, will also be here. So the president now has to work with a group of faculty, with the vice president for administration, to shape all that facilities. But it's going to be brand new labs, brand new classroom spaces for all of them. The dental clinic will provide for the community, and the added advantage is that the space they leave behind is going to be able to also be used to expand educational programs here. So.
We before gonna do the cut? Okay. Okay. I have big scissors. Come on, big scissors. Steven? Now you can count down. 3, 2, 1, Madam President. Do a few, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do a few up top, please. Yes. Okay, so because I've been getting this question all day. Number one, I went to Florida for no governmental work, no fundraising, not to seek a job. I have a job. I went for personal to see friends and those who I couldn't see because now I'm on the campaign trail. I've been promising to see them. I went down, hung out with them for one day, came back to New York. So all of these other rumors I don't know about. I have a job. I'm running for my re-election, and I'm still doing that, and I'm looking forward to getting re-elected. All that's hypothetical. You know, for the last year and a half, people saw what I've done in the city, and they saw my resiliency. I have been getting calls from private industries, from boards, from educational institutions. I have been getting offers for the last year and a half. Would I come and join their corporation? So people are always asking, based on, I manage the largest, I'm a CEO of 320,000 employees. People saw what I did, how I handled crises. So I've been getting job offers for the last year and a half. Even in the midst of all this crisis, people like my leadership and how I turn around the city. And so to say, would you take a job in administration, or would I take it somewhere else? That's hypothetical. I'm running for office, and I'm going to finish doing that. I got work to do. I got more ribbons to cut before I finish up this term. Well, first of all, if they did or didn't, my rules was the same from the first day I was elected. I don't talk about private conversations. And so you know that. Many of you had private conversations with me that you never heard again. I am not going into private conversations. And no matter what happens, right now, I'm the mayor of the city of New York. I got to keep this city safe, particularly here what we're doing in the Bronx. I have to continue to cut these ribbons, and I have to continue to make history in this city as we have done over and over and over again. Nobody knows it better than my FDM.